Hello, we are about to start the Yes Piece Walk, Dance, Sing, opposed to No War March or Anti-War March. This is a Yes Piece Walk, Dance, and Sing. It will be in person anywhere you are at noon on April 19th, 2025. Today is April 12th, and we are having a few speakers who are teaching us ways for self-care, for grounding, self-love, and we're going to have a little conversation with one of them. All right, so stay tuned. I'm Dr. Amba, your host of Sit Wellness. Sit and meditate, not medicate, is one of my mottos. We'll be back soon. So I'm really excited to have our first speaker, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. I'm going to also ask her some questions during her talk. So go ahead and share with us who you are, where you are. I'm so excited to have you here. Hello,
Hi,
sister.
thank
Polka dot sister.
you. Yeah, thank you for having me. So I'm Odelia. I'm the legacy writing guide, and I'm in Colorado, in Island Ranch. So yeah,
And you are from somewhere else originally. I hear your accent,
yes,
and we had
I'm
talked about that.
I'm from France. I'm from Paris. So
And you travel a lot because when I was in the south of France, you were also in Israel, right?
I was
Have
in
family
Israel.
there.
Yeah, yeah. I used to live in Israel. Yeah.
Nice. And what one thing this is all about is how we can help each other have self-love, self-care, or in peace with the whole yes, peace, walk, dance, and sing being about celebrating peace and that inner peace we have rippling out to help create world peace. And I love what you were starting to talk about, how writing a story is a form of self-love. Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, so for me, writing is really connected with self love because it's actually giving yourself that permission of slowing down and taking the time to be aware of yourself and your uh, listening, but really, really within yourself, a deeper level of, yeah.
Definitely. I tend to record myself, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but I record myself on Zoom because it does a little transcript, and I can copy the transcript and then edit it. Um, I'm I am just one way to save my writing. If I write it on paper, I can't find it. What is one of the tools for yourself when you're writing for yourself? What helps you kind of calm down? Do you have a little ritual you do when you're writing for yourself?
So it took me a long time to figure out how to do it, but yes, I'm just choosing a place where I know I won't be um, interrupt or really calm place, and I love to have my coffee and to be really in a silent space. But it's really depending on the day because I started like that with a calm place, and with time, I learned to explore different places depending on what I want and what I need. And so that's all about self love is more being aware more about what you need and what you want. So
Definitely. I am happy that you said the word need. I am with my clients often saying that word need has a kind of heavy vibration. Just like when I say yes, peace, opposed to no war, we want to focus on the positive. So I don't say that we need peace or we want peace. I say we desire peace and different spiritual paths. And I have to say, Becky, who is going to be speaking later, was the first person that said Gus, God, universe, source, because I really believe everyone's higher power, however you call it, it's that same love energy. And that really surrendering to our highest good. And writing is a form of sort of connecting with our higher power, creativity, and
absolutely.
seeing that. and seeing it's not so much a need, it's a desire, like what Becky is all about is purpose, part of our alignment to our purpose here and sharing the wisdom that comes through us, through our life stories. My every challenge is a gift to grow and evolve is my trademark. And those challenges is often what do you write through your challenges? And when you said your
Absolutely.
story,
Absolutely. I think it's a really a good opportunity to just write about challenges or anything, but it's really reconnecting and being aware of and a celebration of what we overcome and everything we did, the good and the bad. Like you said, there are no, like, I don't like to put that as a bad or as good. It's just a celebration of what we went through in our life. And to look at that and say, wow, I did a lot and it was amazing. Yeah.
yeah, that's Becky was at one of the first retreats. We did in Delaware, and we were writing about what I've done in a way that's a positive way too. Like, okay, when we get a little sad, writing everything we've accomplished, what we've
Absolutely.
maybe been through, that maybe we've gotten through, but also like we've raised kids, or we have been in a marriage so long, or we got out of a marriage that was not so healthy, or we got a degree in something, or wrote a book, having a list of those things in our pocket that we can look at any time as well.
Yeah.
What books have you written? Have you written, you mostly help other people write books these days, or are you writing books? What are some
I'm
of the books you've
writing.
written?
I'm writing since I was 10 years old. So it's a long time. So yeah, I published two books, and one of them is a memoir. It's part of my life, and another one is a children book about fears. And I did a children book because I started with children book when I was 10. So it was my first time I was like, children book. And I did a memoir because I needed, and I know it's, for me, it was really a need. So I will use, I needed that.
Yeah,
I was
that's
yeah, I was really in need physically and mentally and everywhere in my being. I was in the need of sharing my story, and it was so much. It was too much on me. Too much. I was just the need to. I need to write my story, and I started writing. I was really, really upset and really mad and really, you know, in that victim place, and it was a really amazing journey. But at the end, um, it was amazing. I learned so much about letting go of judgment and self-love and self-forgiveness. By the way, for me, it's first of all self-forgiveness and then self-love and self-respect. So yeah, it's really, I think what I mean, for me, it's more of reconnecting with my feeling and understanding that it's okay that I feel what I feel, and not always being judgmental about, oh, I'm feeling mad about my mom or my birth mom, and I was adopted when I was a baby, and so all my life was around that. I lost my identity, I lost my sense of belonging, and I needed just that safe place in to say I'm mad and I'm not okay. And I did that. And with the process, I understood so much. I understand so much, it's like just a process of, again, letting go of judgment. But when you write your story, you have that opportunity to put everything on the paper. And for me, paper is safe place. It's really a safe place, and that's what I create for other people, a safe place to say what they have to say. And yes, after that, it's a long process to have a really good book, of course, but first of all, it's for you, self-love. So
100%. Everything you said, 100%. I agree, especially about the forgiveness, especially about The feelings, I often say myself, honor your feelings. They're a sacred part of us. A lot of people want to stuff those feelings and not feel them because they're uncomfortable. Some people are really uncomfortable with that uncomfortability, and that's the part where we can grow. That's the part where we really evolve, and it is
Absolutely.
sacred. It's a beautiful part of us. So I really appreciate that you said that. Were you gonna expand?
I want to say that just it's secret within us, but I don't think we need to be afraid. I know it's scary, but I don't think we need to be afraid of just expressing ourselves and saying what we are feeling. And just, I'm not saying now to be mean or to be, but just acknowledging our feelings and be aware, because I think every morning, if you are just asking yourself, how are you doing today? We are always told to be nice to other people and to ask other people, how are you doing? But are you taking the time every morning to ask yourself, how are you doing today? You know, and that's 2 minutes to be aware where I am today, what's going on with me today. It will be amazing for you over the whole day, because you will be okay. Today I'm here, and so I think it will be helpful. It's helpful for your relationship with other people in your day, and for so many more stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I love that, I think I use paper more, yellow paper, wooden pencil for ritual type things that I do, but, like, I love how you had said before about, putting it on paper and just the it reminded me of a friend who once said there's these 10-year journals or something, like, they have, like, 1 page has the date, but it has, like, 10 years, like, so you can fill in each so if you wanted to see what day, "How did I feel that day on the same day that last year?" I thought that sounded really interesting. That's on my list
yeah,
of things, but
it's
I I really appreciate everything you said so much. Is there
thank
anything
you.
else you wanna share with anyone about, you know, things you do that help you calm down or root or ground in your experience around writing or anything that you want to share?
Yes, I'm writing letters to my feeling about, like, really a letter to my feeling and not about my feeling. So it's a really a big difference, because it's like personification, what we call personification. And so we are feeling like a person. And then we understand, oh, I can't separate myself for that feeling. It's not me, it's something, you know, out there. So, and I'm having a conversation with my feelings, and it's
I
super fun.
I love that. I love that. I have never put that in my brain, that concept, and I love that. I had long time ago, when I was a young mother, single mom. I have 2 daughters now who are young moms as well. I had this therapist that said, "Take your feelings, and if they're too much to deal with, you can put them in like a net with this rope, and you can let the rope get longer and longer and longer until those feelings are, like, literally out in the
Yeah,
galaxies, so they're a little bit distance, and then you can talk to them when they're way out there,
yeah,
so they're just
yeah,
not so close to you, and I loved that one
yeah,
too,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I do definitely some meditations that are a little bit different that with archangels and cutting the cords and stuff, which we'll do that another day, but you'll get a recording of that, but I love that. I wanna write a letter to my feelings right now, the
Yes,
the
yes,
feelings of, living with my grandchildren and living with all my family. That's one of my friends, who's gonna be speaking, Renee Blodgett, she said, "Yeah, I think living with all of your grandkids and, 15 people in a house would make me wanna have a self-care inner peace
absolutely,
dialogue too."
absolutely.
But thank
Yeah,
you so
absolutely.
much.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
where can people find you? Is it yourname.com?
Yeah, yes,
Okay. And
yes.
everybody can see her name down there at the bottom. And we'll also send out the information to everybody. And thank you so much. I appreciate
You're so
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Hello, hello. I am honored to be here today to talk about self-love. Really thinking about inner peace is world peace. And I want to talk about the ripple effect that self-love really has. And I really think about the inner peace part and the way that we speak to ourselves, the way that we show up for ourselves, and the way that we can choose love over fear, especially when no one else is watching, right? When we're having these internal conversations with ourselves, this is where we really get to elevate love within. And I'm Becky Plautz. I guide powerful women through transformational experiences that really help them reconnect with their truth, embody their confidence, and capture their magic. And whether that's behind a camera, on the mic, or in intimate coaching spaces, I'm here to mirror back the strength that they've always had within and help them rise up from that. So I am an empowerment coach and embodiment storyteller, helping women reclaim their power, rewrite their story, and rise with that radical confidence. So let's dive into a couple simple practices that can help you feel powerful with your self-love and that you can use right now in the moment today to create more peace in your life by doing that and creating the space for peace within first. So my first tool is really mirror talk. So I even brought my little handy dandy mirror to just example to you how simple yet powerful mirror talk is. And every day we're speaking to ourselves, right? We're having this internal silent dialogue within, and anyone, can say things to us, but we're with ourselves all the time. So this conversation that we have inside of our head, right? Thinking about, is it loving? Are you speaking compassionately to yourself? Are you being supportive with those thoughts that are in your head? Or are they always negative? Are they always like overreacting in the moment and bringing you down, right? We want to be able to catch and pay attention and really be conscious to the way that we're having this talk inside of our head so that we can, mirror the good things back to ourselves because we get more of what we focus on. So going to a mirror and looking at yourself in your eyes, right? This is something you're going to say to yourself, something that's true and something that's loving, right? So it can be really simple and powerful to just think about like, I am whole just as I am, right? Because a lot of times we want to pick ourselves apart. We want to think about how we're not good enough. We're going to say the things that are true and that are loving to ourselves. So I am worthy of peace, right? I am powerful and beautiful and growing. These are all true things about us as human beings that we can really amplify in a loving space. And an affirmation that I really love thinking about peace is when I am at peace with myself, I create peace everywhere I go because we're radiating that out, starting with self. So, even if it feels awkward at first, do it anyway. And it probably will, right? This is where growth happens through those discomfort feelings. It's dissolving that over time. So making sure that you're just taking a powerful pause to do a mirror exercise, you automatically start to create more peaceful energy that will ripple into how you speak to others, how you lead, and how you are loving the people in your world as well. So you'll start showing up differently in your relationships and in your business and in your own purpose. So I encourage you to commit to going to try that right now. If you can like pause and go and do it, or at any point today that you stop and take a restroom break, there's a mirror there to just take a pause and do that. Okay, so the second tool that I love to use with my clients for their photo shoots especially is writing a love note to yourself and really using this as a opportunity to practice sending out the ripple effect. So this is a deeper aspect of self-love that you can really make it simple to grabbing a Post-it, a sticky note, right? Or opening up the app in your phone to just make a note right now to say, one simple one-liner of love for yourself. It could be, I'm proud of you. Thank you for showing up for yourself, or you're allowed to rest and still be worthy. That's a big one for me. I'm a doer. I love to take action, and I'm highly motivated to like check things off my list. So reminding myself that I'm still worthy when I'm resting and being intentional in that way is one of the love notes that I like to remind myself of. So, pause and write that note for yourself. But then the ripple effect is really, who can you send a love note to also, right? When we're doing it for ourselves, and then think about turning that out to the world to radiate it outward to someone else. Your energy is touching more people than you realize when you make those small gestures, right? That could really be affecting someone in the way that they feel safe, feel seen, or feel really loved today by you thinking of them. And it's a really great reminder of how your words matter, right? The way that you choose to show up for yourself matters. And when we're doing that more consistently for ourselves, we're showing that to our world, because we're bringing a more peaceful version of ourselves, because we're feeling more deeply about love versus fear or any like resistance that we have in our body. And then there's one more like quick tool I wanted to share too, which is, I mentioned I'm kind of a list person. So, right, you may be thinking, well, how am I going to start or keep moving forward with these ideas that we're sharing in bringing peace? And I've got you covered. It's a list, a daily habit of love list, creating a love list. Now, this is really short, really simple. Again, every morning, write a short love list, asking yourself the question, how can I love myself today? And it might be as simple as drink water before coffee or anything else that you put in your body. Maybe it's drinking water, or walking outside before you touch your phone, right? Making sure that you're getting that fresh air in your lungs, or turning on your favorite song before you get in the shower. Something that is just really kind to yourself. It fills you with a loving energy and gives you peace of mind. But how can you love yourself today? And making that short little list to just give you some intentional ideas about how you can move around your day with just 5 tiny actions that say, I matter and I'm choosing peace today. And I would challenge you to do that for 7 days and watch how much more grounded and graceful you feel throughout your day, because it will really matter to the way that you show up for yourself before you go out and give more to the world. So I invite you to reflect, what would your life look like if you started doing more things to love yourself first? And what kind of world would we be creating if more people walked in that kind of energy, that peace of mind, and starting with themselves? Because inner peace is world peace. It starts with you. It starts with one word. It starts with one note or one tiny list. So go stand in front of the mirror, go write that love note, make your list, and let your life be the ripple that changes your world within. I'm Becky Plautz, and thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much. And your website is also your name, right? BeckyPlautz.com.
Yes, it is. You can reach me there for sure.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I am so grateful for Becky Plautz and for Odelia. Am I saying that right? Odelia. Okay. Elgarat. Elgarat. I hopefully am saying it right. I am Dr. Amba Drigg Tobin, and I love that both of these women used uh, writing either in lists or writing to yourself, or speaking to yourself in the mirror. I love Louise Hay, who was the first person I ever heard talk about mirror work. She would say, I believe, try to say mirror play. Um, and that the entire yes piece, walk, dance, and sing, is about, let's make world peace faster by loving ourselves. That reality, each one of us has a filter. When we see something in the world, our own personal filters interpret what is reality. And so many people, and I always, or I often say to many teachers, please use the word so many or many of us, or sometimes or some, because when we say always or everyone, that's kind of energetically a curse, I believe. So please try to use the word many of us or some of us, or for me and many people. Uh, we see news and get affected by the news. I try myself to watch less news or zero news and read it, because you can put it down if you're reading it. Many people see the news, have it on often, and get really upset. And their filter of news and war and things going on with politics has a vibration for many of them that is not of self love and not of love towards others. Rather, anger and frustration, maybe, or disappointment, or expectations not met, which relates to heart and Chinese medicine. And you know, we talked a little bit earlier. I was saying the word need has a lower vibration. However, not having our needs met as a child, we end up with the challenges. I say with many different spiritual beliefs, they believe we choose our parents for the lessons we're going to learn. And sometimes it's about how to bake a cake, and sometimes it's about how to catch a ball, and sometimes it's about forgiveness and tolerance. It's not always a lesson of, oh, good boy, Johnny. I'm sure that President Trump had a lot of hard times with his father. I'm guessing just from the behaviors I've seen. And I have to tell you, my grandson, who has he's on the autism spectrum, and my neighbor always says, "Oh, everybody is." We're all on the spectrum. But my grandson was diagnosed being on the spectrum, and he says, I'm a bad kid. I say, no, there's only good people, and some have bad behavior. And whatever political beliefs you have, whoever is your president or your prime minister or your head of state of wherever you live, maybe they have, through our own filters, bad behaviors. And it's not that they're bad people. They just have what we believe to be bad behaviors. And so what we perceive through our own filters, in my belief, and everything I say, I always say, take what works for you and leave the rest. Um, that we change our own filters when we love ourselves deeper, when we forgive ourselves more. With medical Qigong therapy, which I'm a doctor of, the oldest modality of Chinese medicine, we say forgiveness is of a situation, forgiveness of maybe a perpetrator, forgiveness of source or God for giving us this lesson to grow and evolve from. And the last and hardest one, forgiving ourselves. And I say to my clients, it's forgiving ourselves for letting it bother us for so long. Like, wow, I didn't have to waste so much time getting upset about something. If I would have just really surrendered and thought about, well, why did that bother me so much? Why was that so hard for me to let go of? I see the lesson that I was intended to forgive this person or forgive this situation and come back to self-love, self-love, self-love. I'm going to sing. Um, I'm a jazz singer too, under the name Miss Henry. Self-love is the root of every bit of healing. When we do the work with medical qigong, you say, why is that important? Oh, so and so hurt me, and blah blah blah. Well, why is that important? Answer to that question, holding that question answer, and then go, okay, well, what was that answer? Why is that important? Okay, well, because of blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then that answer, you ask, why is that important? And on and on and on. And the root answer down to the very bottom is because I'm still not in love with myself, for many people. It's because I feel like, we're all humans in spiritual beings in a human experience. A lot of teachers teach that. And we have free will. At any point, we can say, with my free will, I choose to grow and evolve without suffering. I choose to learn the valuable lessons and keep growing and evolving into loving myself. And I recently heard Marianne Williamson in I don't know how long ago, maybe 10-year ago interview with Russell Brand talking about, if you've heard of that book, blanking on the name, really thick book, Course in Miracles. And she was talking about the love, with God or source isn't like a love, you know, with some big old man sitting in a chair. It's me to you, you to me. This two human being experience, every person in front of us having that. And I love that Becky saying, writing a little love note to yourself or the positive, I matter, I am important. I often say, I matter, I am important, I am a good person, I am a valuable being, you know, to other people and appreciating other people. I love that. Katerina Rando, a wonderful teacher, often says to your clients, give them little notes of appreciation. And I love it because she says, always say why you appreciate that person because they make you feel. So, like, I appreciate both you women because you make me feel like so valued and important because you're sharing your wisdom in this little forum and, that you are both polka dot sisters, polka dot powerhouse. Check that out if you are a woman and want to know more connecting with other women. These affirmations, which affirmations to ourselves, but affirmations to others, they're two different vibrations, being grateful and being appreciative. I appreciate has a different vibration than I am grateful for. And this is really where it comes back to self-love because it's a vibration, it's a projection, but a positive projection when we can love ourselves and then see that divine spark in someone else and recognize it and be grateful and appreciate it. And you can see it so much stronger. Love yourself when you have that inner peace. This is what this is all about. Really vibrating out the intention of world peace from our own inner peace and seeing how important you are. You matter so much because that sacred honoring, that sacred knowing and feeling how important you are is rippling out. So many spiritual faiths say, love your neighbor as yourself. If you hate yourself, what are you doing to your neighbor? You're rippling that out too. So, baby, you want world peace, all love each other, love ourselves first. So we can give that. And many coaches say that too. Like you're in a relationship with someone, how are you giving them love if you don't love yourself? It's a little more hard, challenging. Anyway, I'm going too long. Tomorrow we'll be here same time, same place, noon California time, April 13th to the 18th. And then wherever you are, April 19th at noon your time, go for a walk in nature with a couple people you love and walk, dance, sing for world peace and really reflect on how important and valuable you are. And so is everyone else. Maybe not everyone else has the capacity to understand yet how we are all connected. I love Becky. She made a sweater for me and her that says, "You are me, I am you, you are them, we are, you are." How does it go, Becky? I am you, you are me. It's on my website. They are us, we are them. That is what it is. We're connected. We're all connected. We're a global human family. So I know not all of our family we want to visit. We can love them from a distance. We can have boundaries, but we can still love them because they are sacred and they are us. And that's all I have to say. Thank you again, ladies. I will see you hopefully tomorrow or watch the replays. And remember to talk to friends and family if they want to go for a walk with you at noon your time to intend world peace through inner peace. Medical Qigong 4 keys are intention, attention, imagination, and sensation. Really imagining what you want to happen in your body and in your world, focusing on it, not on a long list of other things you want to do that day. Intention, attention, imagination. Imagining people putting down their guns and their bombs. Imagining the people who create farms, go into business to sell fertilizer, you know, and sell that to grow plants and crops instead of dropping bombs for money, you know? So intention, attention, imagination, sensation, feeling it. Feel it. Feel what is it like to turn on the TV and nobody's talking about war. They're talking about the really good deal at that hotel, you know, on the Gaza Strip where people can go and have a really good farm to table meal with everybody of all different faiths. That's what I want to imagine. And all over the world, everybody getting along. So imagine that, feel that, love yourself, love everybody else. And we will see you soon. Thank you, ladies.